Good morning, folks. Everything new under the sun. The image you're looking at is an image from 2015, and it's of the Poseidon system, and it's Russian media footage. This article is from Janes.com. Russia completes testing of Poseidon thermonuclear torpedo. Putin announced at the beginning of February that the successful completion of underwater tests of its Poseidon unmanned underwater vehicle factory trials are expected to begin in summer 2019. Again, interesting timing for something like this to emerge. A thermonuclear torpedo, first revealed in late 2015, the since named Poseidon referred to previously as Status 6 or Canyon. It says, has been conceived as fast as deep diving, large diameter nuclear powered torpedo able to deliver 2 MT megaton, I guess, nuclear strike at intercontinental range, it says. Let's see what else it says about it here. The 24-meter long UUV with a nuclear warhead is designed to navigate autonomously. So this is an autonomous warhead that they could, send throughout the seas and go to anyone's shoreline effectively and deliver a thermonuclear detonation. It's designed to navigate autonomously with a max speed of 107 knots, and that's pretty fast, and detonate near an enemy coastal city, generating a tsunami. Russian media, state media reported. So that's an incredible escalation in terms of warfare. An autonomous vehicle capable of going at 107 knots, able to detonate in a thermonuclear explosion, which will create a tsunami and basically inundate any large city around there. On its way to a target, Poseidon will be able to avoid and overcome any anti-submarine barriers and other enemy defense systems due to its fully automated operating system. So even if you jam the satellites, this thing continues going, or whatever other communication system, this thing keeps going. I don't know that they can use GPS underwater, but whatever other navigation system they use, this is fully autonomous. Altogether, the intellectual and performance characteristics of the vehicle will make it invulnerable and secure against guaranteed target destruction, an unnamed defense industry told Russian state media. And so what does Putin think about this thing? Well, Putin officially unveiled the Poseidon project in his State of the Nation address to both houses of Russian parliament in March 2018, saying that the UUV had rendered NATO's missile defenses useless because the missile defenses are missile defenses for the air, not for the sea, so they don't help in the sea. So what does what does NATO have to guard against underwater attacks effectively? The UUV is part of Russia's state armament program for 2018 to 2027, and it's expected to enter service before 2027, it says. Again, what do I think is the timeline for the end of 6,000 years of man on Earth? 2028. So the fact that this comes out before 2027 could be used, and the Bible does describe a situation where a mountain is thrown into the sea, and that's something that could be described as maybe a thermonuclear blast underneath the water, creating a tsunami. A mountain effectively creates a tsunami. That's a bit of a stretch, but that's the reference that I would first think about when it comes to, if a country were to use this in the last days, how would it be described? And we don't know exactly, but it's an incredible weapon that Russia has now, which effectively, again, makes NATO's air defenses useless, because now they can attack from underwater, and they could create several of these and basically surround the United States, for example, or any other Western or NATO country, and deliver devastating destruction effectively. And boy, if this were to go off in the Persian Gulf, for example, what sort of destruction in the Middle East would this cause to all the cities around the water's edges? So pretty interesting new weapon to come out. I haven't seen one like this for a little while, and it's an interesting escalation of thermonuclear weapon, autonomous underwater vehicle, and the fact that it really gets around most of the defenses that NATO countries have and the U.S. has. So it's one more weak point for NATO, and so Russia could use this as a secondary response, sort of a weapon. When you look at end-time Bob Prost, you look at Western nations and the U.S. specifically, most pointedly, being conspicuously absent, and you got to ask the question: what happens to the U.S.? How are they taken out? How do they stop from being a world superpower? It's my opinion that the most obvious answer to me is likely economic collapse, but it could also be an EMP. But more likely, instead of an EMP, maybe it could be a thermonuclear explosion, detonation under the water, which basically takes out some large cities and triggers the economic collapse, which then takes down the rest of the country. And as the country is recovering from this, we have everything else starting to trigger and fire in the Middle East. So it's something to think about. A new weapon is on the table from Russia, and we are living in the end times, and we're going to see more of this. Nation is rising against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there is no decrease in weapons. Every country is arming themselves to the teeth. They are getting ready for the great battles that are described in the Bible. They don't know it, but they are getting ready to basically fulfill those prophetic battles. I'll leave it there, guys. Interesting article about the Poseidon UUV thermonuclear weapon by Russia. And we'll leave it there, and we'll see you guys in the next video.